Deep to the love, mina deep to the light. Deep to the love, mina deep to the light. Welcome. 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 Deep to the love, mina deep to the light. Deep to the love, mina deep to the light. Giving it 5 minutes to start. 5 minutes. Welcome. 2 more minutes for me to start it. I'm counting down. Deep for the love, mina deep for the likes. Deep for the love, mina deep for the likes. Deep for the love, mina deep for the likes. Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday everyone. How are you doing? Whatever region you're in, I appreciate you all. Welcome to my channel. I am Evangelist Sandra Robinson. How you all are doing? Live, love, laugh. That is what we're gonna do today. Live, love, laugh. Welcome. Welcome, my brothers and sisters. Welcome. I love you all. HD, HFD, welcome, 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 my brothers and sisters. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. I appreciate your presence on my life. You take the busy time out of your schedule to be on my life. I love you all. Love, love, and blessings to you all. As you all can see the topic, yes, the topic that we will be talking about today is stress. What causes stress? Well, before I go into the topic, just a word of prayer. I remember after praying because we didn't wake up ourselves this morning. No, we didn't do it. Yes, God woke us up this morning. Heavenly Father, We give you thanks. We glorify you for who you are. You are above all. You are everything to us. You are our greatest friend in everything that we need. Heavenly Father, you said you will never leave us and you will never forsake us. We give you the glory, we give you the honor and the praise for taking us into a new day. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. In His precious name, amen and amen. What a mighty God we serve. Hallelujah. What a mighty God we serve. What I want you you all on the live to do first, I welcome everyone, those who are in the background watching quietly. If you are not yet a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. What is stress? S-T-R-E-S-S. What it is? What it is. Take about 2 minutes and take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is stress? About 2 minutes. Take a deep breath. Yes, ask yourself, what is stress? Stress starts when the brains start from the brain, yes. Start when you're worried, when you get worried about anything. Stress starts when the brain perceives a challenge, threat, or overwhelming demand. It's trigger a fight-to-fight response. That means start to work more. It's trigger, give off that effect. The signal is very depressful, which activate the nervous system to release hormones like cortisol. It creates immediate physical changes, increase heart rate, the heart started to race, swallow breathing and muscle tension, design the cervical, but often triggered by daily pressure or pressures like deadline, arrangement, financial worries. For example, if we start to worry about, even at the workplace, home, if we start to worry about that, it can trigger our stress. It can give us the effect of stress. But we are not to worry. Why worry? When St. Matthew 6 verse 34, Jesus said, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has its own trouble of its own. So we shouldn't really worry, but times and times, maybe at home with the children, the husband, or at the workplace, it comes demanding to us. And when it get demanding to us, it put on a pressure on the brain. And the brain cannot manage certain amount of pressure. So this amount of pressure, it causes the stress. And stress will take you into depression. Stress will take you into mental illness. So we have to be careful about our life. An examination of stress will relieve that in general there are two basic sources. The first stress factor can come from external circumstances such as the environment, job, or family, or studies. So any one of these things, anything can cause stress. Second, we can produce our own stress. Right, it can start from us. It can start deeper from inside. We can produce our own stress. Or our own stress matters. It's related to what we are thinking about. Our temperament and our level of self-control. So we have to learn to control ourselves. If we don't control ourselves, it can turn out to be stress. Self-control can be the source of stress. Hallelujah. The degree of physical and mental health, which I referred before, which we have influenced the amount of stress we have. Stress originates from two sources. It can be internal and it can be external. That is what stress can be, both in and out. When external stress factors are particularly strong, even the best equipped people suffer stress. So it don't matter who we are, if we are in high position, if we are in low position, it don't matter who we are. We can have stress. Stress don't pick a particular person to act up on, anyone, even a child. When external stress factors are particularly strong, even the best equipped people suffer stress. On the other hand, when someone is psychological, fragile, even the weakest stress factor affect them. Yes, it is. Men's, in general, men's mind are more deeply disturbed by what they see, right? So it's what we see will really cause stress, or give us stress. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Hub Interactive, Brother Glenn. Live, Love, Laugh TV. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate you all. Just a little bit about stress. Social relationships are a primarily source of stress, but prolonged isolation is also highly stressed. One must maintain a state of balance. We have to balance the thing, balance the job, balance the work, right? Between the time we spend with family and friends and the time we spend alone with our nature. So we can't get up every day doing one thing over and over. We have to have a time for ourselves. We have to relax the mind. Yes, because the mind controls our body. What happened to us from outside? The historical earthquake to war, to just losing our key, we all find ourselves faced with incidents which produces stress. Some are fragile, some are tragic, others are simple frustration. Sometimes we are frustrated. All of them, however, contribute to the level of our stress. While trauma or stress factor of great magnitude can devastate our mental health, as I said before, the little stress factor which by themselves are not significant can become dangerous if too many occurs immediately. We will now examine several different situations which produces stress. Traumatic experience. This can trigger off stress. Perhaps the most extreme example of the result of stress are found among people who have lived through traumatic experience, whether they are natural, whether they are natural disasters, for example, hurricane, flood, or human ones, war, accident, nuclear disaster, attempt, murder, assault, rape. These incidents ignite high level of stress. That's why I said anything can cause stress. Both during and after the event. Right. So after all these things occurs, if we are not careful, it will affect our mind and lead to stress. Survivors such as event pass through a period of stress which can be divided into 3 phases. Alright, for example, Jamaica had a terrible hurricane Melissa last year, and because of this hurricane, about 90% of those who were affected are going through a stress depression. Right. It's bring on a depression on them. And when it bring on the depression, it lead up to mental illness. Number 1, the first stage might be referred to as the lack of answers phase. The person seems absent, far away, as if he is removed from what is happening. Number 2, the second stage is identified by the individual. Inability to imitate, act, anything, task, no matter how simple he can, of course, follow instruction which are given to them. Occupation with a high level of stress. Being an air traffic controller, that can bring on a lot of stress on you. Being a businessman, that can bring on a lot of stress. Being a pilot, a physician, a stockbroker, mother of small children, elementary or high school teacher, a rising construction worker, salesperson. As I said before, all these things and anything can trigger off stress. The level of stress assigned to various types of job differs according to author. In this table, we have selected some jobs which are regarded as the most stressful. As I said before, those type of jobs are very stressful. There are other jobs such as police, being a police inspector, or a prison guard, which are considered as stressful. It's really stressful as that of a pilot or a physician. Many of these professions are produce high level stress. Some examples are stimulations, translators, telephone operators, and miners. Anyone can face stress. Anything can cause stress. Even if you're a guidance counselor, if you're not careful, the problems that you get from your client, it can also trigger off stress. So in everything that we are doing, we have to balance it. We have to set a timetable for our family. For example, you know that you work, for example, 5 days a week. You know that you can take the Saturday or the Sunday. Sunday you go to church. Or the Saturday, you know, after you finish the housework, you take the kids out. Or if it's you alone, you take a time for yourself to relax the mind. Because guess what? If we do not want our own thoughts to cause stress or to stress us, we must learn to control them. Yes, we have to learn to control our thoughts, learn to control ourselves. If we want our internal body to be positive, we must learn to practice through meditation. Through what? Meditation. We have to have a time that we meditate. And during this meditation, we can relax, have some soft, quiet music playing. We can even read the Word of God. We can even sing to ourselves some lovely songs. We can even read a book. This book can be careful and useful aid of achieving a peace of mind. Peace of mind, if we have a practice and apply its teaching. So sometimes we have to have a peace of mind for ourselves. In the third stage, the individual enter into a time of anxiety and apprehend the thoughts that come to their minds. Whenever he relieves the events, yes, that is when you start to stop thinking about it. Through fantasy or nightmare, at times we will suffer deep sense of guilt for having served a tragic in which others have died. Right, because even death can cause depression. Stressful events. Throughout our lives, we are faced with particular stressful events, although not traumatic in nature. Some are intense enough to alter our personal balance. So remember before I said we have to know what we are doing and balance the thing, balance our relationship, our family life with our family. Although negative events generally bring with them a high level of stress, positive events such as a promotion to a higher paying, listen, please listen, promotion to a higher paying or most responsible position often carry with them a noble level of stress. So sometimes you get a higher position, and that higher paid job or position, it can also trigger off stress. Thomas H. Holmes and Richard H. Rowe developed a list of events called social readjustment scale. In this list, stressful events are ranked according to the amount of stress which each produces. Right. We all are different persons. We all produces different types of stress. They are ordered from maximum debt of a spouse to a minimum breaking of the law in some small way. Here it is. These scientists complied to the list, often analyzing thousands of medical histories and conducting numerous interviews. So all of these statistics and interviews were done with people that are facing or going through a stress. They were trying to identify the event which people felt were the most stressful in order to assign numeric value to these experiences. They asked 395 married and unmarried men and women in various ages and from various social classes to tell their experience in the stressful event based on how these events affect them. So they give their daily life routine experience to the interviewer who did the statistic and research. In this way, the investigators developed a scale which included 43 stressful events. The quantitative nature of these events, along with the list itself, is relative. The order and relationship of stressful event may vary considerably depending upon the age of the culture. For example, in a later study, it was reported that while adults places sexual problem in the 13th position, teenagers place in the highest of number 5. So as I said before, even a children, teenagers can go through stress, can develop stressful times. There were also variation between American and European. Americans, for example, considered the death of a family member much more stressful than the Europeans. That means in America, when they lost a loved one, they are more stressful about it. In the European, they are not so stressful when losing a loved one. Maybe they find something to relax the mind, but whatever it is. Whatever the specific list of each readers, it is important to recognize that various situation of event produces more or less stress. If we are aware of this, we can better prepare ourselves to face them when they come our way. So we are to be prepared in everything. We are to prepare ourselves. Again, welcome everyone to the live. Those that are in the background listening, I welcome you all. You take the time out of your busy schedule to be on my live, and this is an important topic. So day-to-day frustration, we all face it. We get frustrated many times on the job, off the job. It's a reality. Day-to-day frustration, those bitter words which are directed towards us by workmate at the workplace, or that machine which breaks just when we need to use it. Yes, sometimes we're ready to use our phone, for example, and the phone started to act up. We get frustrated of it. These are problems, little problems that can cause stress. Perhaps the eruption at the workplace forces us to redo something. The bus which pulls out and make us late just as we are running to catch it. Imagine you are on your way to work, school, whatever it is, and you see the bus and the bus picking up passenger and you are running to reach that bus, and finally it's gone. You start to get worried. Yes, I'm going to late for work. I'm going to late for school. That started to build up your anxiety and causes stress. This letter which we are waiting for and which never arrives, all these are examples of small frustration which life seems more difficult. So it's not really the big things alone that causes stress. My brothers and sisters, if you are just joining the live, I reach half an hour in the live, and this topic is a very important topic. Welcome, Angie. Welcome, Pastor Turpin. Welcome to you all, my brothers and sisters. So the small things also trigger off stress. If these small frustrations become too nervous and we allow them to affect us, we will soon be faced with an intolerable level of stress, or dangerous, as if it had become from one giant stress factor. So you see, when the small things started to evolve, it can lead to a bigger stress demand, stress affecting us. So the little things develop to be big things in our daily life. Despite this individual component can make the big difference. It can make the big difference. We find professionals who rely even suffer from stress, even when faced with adverse circumstances, and we know others with relatively low stress job who become stressed easily. As I said before, even the counselor, the guidance counselor, the family counselor can be stressful if we don't take the situation of the client in hand. If we don't manage the client problem as much as possible as we can, it causes us, we can gain a stressful moment, a stressful life from their problem. So we have to know how to balance the thing. We have to be careful. Before we start our counseling guideline to our client, we have to pray about it, and we have to have a biblical counseling. We have to have the Bible before us and said, yes, this is what the Bible said. This is what we have to do, because our daily life consists of what is in the Bible. Yes, it is. It consists of what is in the Bible. Welcome, Classic. Welcome. So we, during our daily life, we are not just like that. We have to have the Bible. Let the Bible be a part of our life. Physical and social environment. Physical and social environment. Everything which surrounds us contribute in a greater or lesser way in our stress level, as I said before, over and over. Yes. A clean and neat environment which there is plenty of space, which there is no noise level, is low, and where the temperature is right, is the beginning of living with minimal stress. An outside environment which has pure air, clean water, beautiful vegetation, low noise level, and low population density would be a step towards reflection. And that reflection would relax our mind. Ultimately, the average world inhabitants is obliged to live enormous overcrowding with environment, population, air, water, food, and with few resources in unsupportable noisy condition. You know what noise can do? Noise and excess of noise is often a source of stress. So noise can trigger off stress, my brothers and sisters. Noise, I'm gonna repeat it again. Noise can trigger off stress. An excess of noise often a source of stress. In a recent poll taken among attendees at a stress seminar in the city of Madrid, Spain, noise was listed as the 5th cause of stress after interpersonal problems. So noise was listed as the fifth cause that trigger off stress. Stress is really stressful. And stress will always be stressful if we allow it to take control of the mind. Noise has an ability to accumulate and cause. Did you know this, my brothers and sisters? Did you all know this? Noise has an ability to accumulate and cause tiredness, headaches, and muscle tension. Yes. Also, being manipulated can cause stress. Overcrowded space in a high stress factor. Although living in your personal space may vary from culture to culture, there are some minimum standards. The World Health Organization has established that living quarters should often recognize and offer a minimum of 170 square feet for each of its occupants. So that means even the space, if we are living in a small space, maybe we have a lot of kids, that can also cause stress. Yes, it can also cause stress. Muscle tension. Also, these are physical manifestation associated with stress. Living space. Lack of space also causes stress, as I said earlier. And I didn't reach this part. Human beings and animals need space or territory where they can develop and live. So the space, the environment that we are in, we need space where we can adjust ourselves, adjust our family life. All of us, down to the animal, need space. If you have a goat and the goat is not in a pen that is required with certain amount of space, you can get depressed. Yes, you can get started to lose weight, not eating. Yes, same thing for us, same thing for the animals. We can clearly see this is the animal's kingdom. Wild beasts fight for control of a territory. Yes, they are all out there. And more times they fight each other for the space. Even the lion. The lion is more terrible out there. They mark the border with their urines and feces. I didn't know that the first time knowing this. And when one animal of the same species question the traditional possession of other, a fight ensures in order to establish new borders. Yes, they want their space, they want their border, they want their territory. Same in life as us. We need our space, we need our territory, we need our boundaries. The World Health Organization has established a minimum of 170 square feet per person as necessary territory. So that is the space that we should be living in. Nowadays, it's less, but we have to adjust and we have to find a clean environment out there to meditate, to relax our mind. How often do we ignore this recommendation? Not only in the third world countries, but in the advanced cities of the West. Yes, more time we need our personal space. We all do need our personal space. Yes, we all need our personal space. Closely related to living space in personal space. When people relate to one another, they always maintain a certain physical distance. This physical distance varies depending on the culture and the level of friendship. For example, in the Middle East, everyone will walk to an unknown person with only a few inches separating his face from there, while in Europe, strangers will maintain a distance of between 20 to 25 inches from each other's. Yes, even on the road we're walking, we need our space. Yes, if we are in the supermarket, we need our space. Remember when COVID was around, we were to stay about what? Is it 2 feet from each other? Yes, we're all gonna need our space. It is very important. Why do these unwritten rules exist? Two different thinking, including negative and positive, right? As I was saying, negative and positive stress causes us to find 4 types of conflict-related and decision-making process. So stress is what? Finding out that it's a process too. When there are 2 negative situations, the person tries to avoid both, although in many instances we must ultimately choose the lesser of the 2 evils. This is, of course, a stress process. Yes, because we started to choose between both jobs. When a child agreed to help her mom with chores, he may then have to decide whether to wash dishes or dust, right? Because that child would be trying to identify which one would be easier. So that child would be start thinking, should I help mom wash the dishes or should I dust the furniture? Well, that child would decided which one would cause less stress. As I said before, even a child can develop a stressful situation. After making a face, closing the eyes for a moment, and finally figuring out, he decides, I'll dust. That child decides to do the dusting more than wash the plates. Why? Because the dusting would be easier for the child. This is how we relate in our daily family life, our lives. We tend to figure out of doing the easiest things in our life, things that can relax our mind and don't be stressful on us. So this is how the child is thinking to do the dusting. It will be less stress on him. Such situations are common occurrence in everyday life, as I said before. Approach conflict. Once a 12-year-old schoolgirl asked me, suppose we put 2 piles of straw at exactly the same distance, and we take a donkey and place him right between the 2 piles. Which pile will he eat? I don't know how to answer. Immediately the girl answered his own question. He would starve to death trying to decide. Right. You take the donkey, for example, and donkeys, the 2 piles of straw is there for the donkey to eat, and he's there deciding. He's gonna starve to death. He's gonna starve to death because they're thinking which one of the pile of straw to eat. These are the things that trigger off stress because we are there deciding what to do in life. That's how it is. Although it's a joke, but this is how the story went. This is how the story holds a lot of truth for all of us. Yes, it is true. Because if we're there thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's building up your stress. It's building up our stress level. We can never actually prove the girl's theory, but the lives of human beings, we can observe conflicts and attraction which prove difficult to resolve. Yes. Because sometimes, even at the workplace, if we are explaining a situation at the workplace, it's easy to resolve, but yet still it turned out to be a conflict because we are not thinking right, we are not getting the thing right, and that is another stress level. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. The internet was in and out. We see it when a television game show participant is asking to choose between 2 large gifts or similar value, or when a girl has 2 boys chasing after her and she decided between, and she likes both of them. She's deciding between both of them, or when a physician must decide between a hospital job or his private practice. Yes, these are the things that contribute to stress. Welcome, Sister Betty. Thanks. Those simple things. It's not only the big things that causes stress in our life. approach-avoidance conflicts. These two types of conflict happen. The situation is perceived as being positive and negative at the same time. These are circumstances which we are led in. A mother watches her 20-year-old son got a distant country to do a humanitarian work. She experienced feeling of motherly pride and satisfaction while she feels fear and holds a desire that her son would abandon the project for the safety of home. Double approach avoidance conflict. This type of conflict results from having two options available, each of which has positive and negative aspect. Situation. It is perceived as being positive and negative at the same time, while situation also has a positive and negative component. So it's two situations. It's a and B. A is perceived as being positive and negative at the same time, while B also a positive and negative component. So both of them is actually in the same demand, and this is the same type. Imagine the case of a young woman who must decide between marriage and medical study. These are the things that trigger off stress, because she is deciding whether she should get married or she should go and do her medical study. In this case, the two are incompatible, since if she marries, she must move to a place where there is no medical school. She experienced conflict, double approach, avoidance. She sees the possible marriage as something positive, which will provide many personal satisfaction. She also realized that she will be less independent and that she will be required to make changes to adjust. So she is in between. She is wondering if she should do her medical study or if she should get married. But her thinking is doing the most important one in her life. She sees a medical career as exciting in its humanitarian aspect and in the prestige which carries. But she also aware of the enormous sacrifice which will be required if she chooses to complete the course to study in the internship. The conflict increase, the options become more equal in value, because they are both equal, they are both important to her. As the option becomes more equal in value, logically, a choice between two similar objects should be less problematic, since in either case, the result will be equally satisfactory or equally bad. However, human beings do not always react logically. The similarity of options is often a cause of high level of stress at the time of making a decision. So during that time of making a decision, it was also a stress on her. Perhaps this phenomenon can be explained by man's selfish nature. It seems we always want to receive benefits from all positions, options while avoiding all negative ones, conditioned by the desire. The person postponed the decision and live in an uncertain so it's two choices and she have to think about doing both or doing one. Everyone has a limit. We all have a limit. When we go beyond our limit, we break it. It is important that we each learn to recognize our limit and our limitations and how to deal with both. That's what I'm saying. We have to know how to deal. So she have to know she's have a decision of getting married and doing our medical. But we have our limitation and how to deal with both, that it don't be stressful, that we don't feel stress. Thanks be to God. Welcome, Google. Welcome. What is going on in the comment there? My circumstances and their effect on me. That is, this will be our circumstances and the effect that it has on us. All of us are facing certain circumstances in our life, but it's the effect that we allow it to give us. It's the effect. It is the yes or no. Is it the good or bad? Is this decision that we make? Always being in a hurry, being unable to predict the future and feeling out of control, are these more causes of stress? Yes, it is. We are hurrying up to go to work. We are hurrying up to get our assignment done. We are hurrying up even to do our life. Sometimes the age that we are in, we even forgot something, and that trigger off more stress. As I said before, stress don't really start from the big things alone. It starts from the small things too. The hurrying up, in a hurry, the deadline is this, is the final day. It's the final day to do the stuff, to meet the requirements for your to submit your assignment, whatever it is. This is your last chance to do it. Right? Your last chance. There are only the few more places. These few phrases may already be making you nervous. Yes, because you did have 2 weeks before to do the assignment or whatever it is, or a day before, whatever it is, and you didn't take the chance to do it. Now you're in a hurry. Now you're feeling stressed. You're saying, yes, I'm stressed out, yes, because I have my assignment to do. And there were times behind, sorry, when you could find the time to do the assignment, but you wait until the final day. You're in a rush, you're in a hurry. The story goes that whenever Napoleon faces an important event or battle, he ordered his butler to dress me slowly. I'm in a hurry. This is coming from Napoleon. He asked the bee, dress me slowly. He's saying, dress me slowly to his butler, plus he's in a hurry. You tell me now. As we have already said, results achieved under stress can be excellent, but the chance of an accident or something unexpected happen, it is more likely when there is greater sense of urgency. Right. So anything can happen and we can be delayed. And certainly the inability to predict the future is the other stress factor, as being like it's an anxiety. We are here, we are thinking about what we're gonna do next year. It's put on a stress on us. Next year don't come yet, and we start stress ourselves. Some of us here right now, we started to plan for Christmas. Yes, you can see in the store. By the next 2 months, Christmas items will be out. We are here stressing ourselves about Christmas. When Matthew 6, verse 34, Jesus said, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Glory be to God. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And we are still here worrying. The human being has a great ability to face his stress when uncertainty is not a part of stress factor, or when he is able to identify both the stress factor and the time when it will occur. No need to worry about a thing, because every little thing, it's gonna be all right. That's from Bob Marley. Don't worry and stress yourself, my brothers and sisters. This principle is observed in disasters, and which the long-term effects are known as for sometimes. In case a nuclear accident where several years are necessary before one can be certain whether a person has been affected or not. Research showed that the possible victim lives with these in constant fear of the possibility symptoms. So in our lives, things happen before, and sometimes we live in fear that these things will occur again in our lives. And this is a fact. This is true. So it's bring a trauma. It's bring you to the stress point. And I said before, stress is the start of the mental issues. Stress develops mental illness. So when we start to worry about things that we have been through, that is why we still have to seek counseling to get a peace of mind. Because things that happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it still affects some of us. This same phenomenon has been observed in the case of even AIDS, people that have AIDS, where the symptoms may take 8 to 10 years to manifest themselves. Uncontrollable events. These are uncontrollable things. Imagine yourself as a passenger on a small two-seater aircraft in the mid-flight. The pilot faints and loses consciousness. Undoubtedly, you would suffer more stress. Yes, we would suffer more stress. We get panic. We don't know what to do. These are reality. We don't know what will happen at times. We have to live with realities. You have no idea how to operate the plane. Even if you are driving in a car, we have no idea, some of us, how to operate the car. Then if you have some idea as how it landed, the greatest behavioral psychologist, Weiss, published an interesting article in the journal Scientific American. In the article, Weiss reported on an experiment with rats. The conclusion may be applied to human as well. Yes, because most time they use rats to do experiment as human. We placed 2 white mice in a cage and their tails connect to an electric, which would give them painful electric shock. One of the mice received a sound signal before the electric charge and could avoid the change by pressing a lever with his front paw. Sorry. Naturally, both mice suffered from stress. They both lost weight, developed stomach, sorry, ulcers. However, the rats, which did not have the chance to avoid the electric charge, has a gastric ulcer 4 times greater than the other rat and had lost twice as much weight. Sorry. So both rats were placed at the same time and at the same place for experiment. 60% of these who suffered stress Do nothing about it. It's true. Some of us, when we are going through our stress, we do nothing about it. We don't seek counseling. We don't talk about it. And when we don't, when we keep it to ourselves, it deteriorates us. It deteriorates our body. Cause us to lose our mind. It causes mental issues, mental illness. And this is real. They are not prepared to control what happened next. And this percentage is increasing. Right. If you just lay back, if you get stressed and you just lay back and don't do anything to yourself, don't look about yourself, don't seek counseling, it takes a toll on us. It takes a toll on your mind. It is therefore important that the reader understand the method necessary to avoid stress situation. Yes, we have to do the things that avoid stressful situations. We have to do the things that allow us to be stressless. We have to focus on our self, our health, our wealth. They said health is wealth. Yes. As I said it before, Sister Betty, we have to seek counseling. We can't sit there, we can't play dead, we can't lay back. We lay back, we're killing ourselves quietly. We lose our mind quietly. When you take a stop, it's uncontrollable. But self as a source of stress. We have all seen our external circumstances are related to this stress which suffered. In fact, one possible way to avoid stress is to change the environment in which we live. And this is true. If you are in an environment and it's causing you to be stressful, we need to move away from that environment. We need to leave. If we also living with a family member and it's causing us to be stressful, we need to move away. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Pray and ask the Lord to guide and protect you, to give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to move away from that environment, that community, that workplace, whatever it is. However, this is often impossible. Sometimes, besides, we wish to focus here on another source of stress because it's too stress is developing on our mind. Because number one, we are uncomfortable where we are. And number two, we are starting to thinking about it and it's affecting us. So the easiest way to escape is to move away, to walk away, whatever it is. Some of us are in abusive relationship and we We don't want to walk away. We think it's hard to walk away. Why stay in it? It's being more stressful to you, to that person. It's being more stressful. And it will drive you crazy. While that other person is fine and dandy and it's okay for them. But we need to take care of us, ourselves. We need to put ourselves in that position. Walk away from it. Whatever it is, trouble, whatever it is, just walk away to get that stress-free relief. A change of attitude towards stressful situation can be the best resolution. Yes, when you walk away and you are in a clean, relaxing and happy environment, you feel so comfortable, both physical and spiritual. Personality and stress. This is a big one. Personality and stress. In the 1950s, two celebrated cardiologists, Myers, Fairman, and Ray Rosman, distinct between two personalities type. This is their research, what they did. Type A. Type A with a high risk of heart attack. So you see what stress cause? Type A with a high risk of heart attack, and type B with a minimum risk of heart attack. So being stressful, it's not nice. It causes mental and physical issues on us. In their study, which lasted 8 years, they found that there were twice as many type A patients suffering from heart attacks as there were type B people. That is true. It still shows that percentage now as I'm speaking, that most people are now suffering from heart attack, and these are the things that causes. The characteristic of these two types are shown on the table on the next page. They're on this other page. I will soon read it to you before I close. Of course, many intermediate types with cross characteristics exist. This simulation can prove useful to us as individuals as we seek to identify which extreme holds more danger for us. Once we are aware of our personality types, we can look for ways of situating ourselves in the position greater. That means we can put ourselves in a greater position. Competition and consumption. We could maintain many more causes of stress, but in our Western society, we are more specific causes of major importance. To some extent, these are external forces, yet they have an innate or acquired personal component as well. They are competition and consumption. The desire for progress and striving for improvement are normal and positive human traits. However, when these normal desires become exaggerated or compulsive, these can cause greater stress, anguish, and depression. This is especially true when people seem never to reach the level where they believe they belong. And this is true. A lot of us, we start to worry. We reach, for example, age 35, and we don't reach anywhere in life. We are saying to ourselves, at this age, I should have own my own house. I should own my own car. I should have a degree. I should have a doctorate, whatever it is. I should be in a big job. I should achieve more in life. These are some of the things. These are aggregated competitions along with resulting desire for power and for possession. As I said, we think we should be higher in life. Push many people to work beyond their capability. So we are fighting to reach that level in our life, which gives us stress. The result is physical and psychological exhaustion. When we find ourselves assaulted by our own covetousness, we ourselves, we blaming our own self that we should have this, we should reach there, whatever, are bombarded by never-ending publicity. We may need to stop and think whether or not we really want to move still higher or consume even more. Will we actually give us a better or more? Because these are some of the things. This is reality. We are blaming ourselves. We are fighting to reach or to gain or to have certain things in our life. To have positions of certain things. But we have to take it one day at a time. Whatever you have in life, give God the thanks for it. Little is much when God is in it. We don't have to be like the Jones. Because you're trying to be like the Jones when you're putting yourself in depression, when you're stressing yourself to meet up with them, which cannot work. Personality and stress. Type A and type B. General behavior. Type A, constant movement. Impatient. Tense facial expression. Wear with laughter. Dissatisfied with position. Want to move up. Competitive at work, games and sports. Complain frequently. These are personalities and stress. General behavior. These are behavior, daily behavior. Type B, tranquil movement, calm, relaxed, facial expression, soft smile, Satisfied with position. Avoid competitive situation. Rely, complain. So type B, if we behave in this way, tranquil movement, and keep calm, relax, our facial expression, a soft smile, satisfied with the position that you are in, avoid competitive situation. These will relax your mind. The speech part of it now. Quick and loud. That is type A. Some of us too quick to jump to conclusion. Some of us too loud, vulgar. With functional and emphasizes. Expressive and gesturing. Immediate respond. We don't think before we talk. Give direction and brief, responsive. Hurry and speech others with related gesture. Erupts. The soft side of it now. Slow and soft. Slow to anger. Some of us full of anger. If we are in a position, for example, if you're a teacher, you act like a teacher, uniform tone, the type of job that you're in, even if you're a police, receptionist, your tone of voice, it should be calm, it should be soft spoken, calm, with few gestures, respond after pausing, give intensive answers, listen attentively, wait and respond. But when we get anger, it traumatizes the brain. It triggers off stress. It triggers off stress. And these people who is in their way of being and the lifestyle are closer to type A or more susceptible to stress and disease. On the other hand, type B personalities runs less risk, as I read a while ago, of heart attack, but may lack energy when it comes in fulfilling everyday tasks. Can you think of a friend or a relation who, in your judgment, falls into one of these categories? Think of yourself. Which categories that I read them before? Which one do you fall in? It's important for you to watch the life from beginning, to get the full understanding, to get a knowledge of what stress really is, what occurs stress, what stress can do to our body, our mind. We as human beings faces stress daily. How to deal with stress, how to walk away from certain things, how to live in an environment that is full of happiness, that is not stressful. You will be joyful, happy in that environment. You can able to relax your mind, whether it's you alone or your family. If you are in a job and that job is stressful to you, why stay in it? You're killing yourself quickly. Don't stay in it. Seek counseling. Seek guidance. Seek protection. Talk to someone. Don't keep it to yourself. If you are going through stress, never ever keep it to yourself. It's something for you to talk about. Reach out to someone to avoid stress. Find some way of relaxation. Find a way to relax the mind, the brain, to keep it under control. To keep calm. Once you're calm, your mind is relaxed. Stay away from the loud noise. Your mind, just have a peace, a mind of relaxation. Just have a peace of mind where you can be comfortable. My brothers and sisters, I leave these words of encouragement with you today. And I will leave the word again with you. It's your word, your inspiration, word of affirmation for today. I read it about 2 times, but I'm gonna read it again. St. Matthew 6 verse 34. I didn't say it, but Jesus said, therefore do not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So in our daily life, my brothers and sisters, we faces new challenges. We faces new trouble, as I would put it. Each day has its own trouble. And we have to even try to walk away from the trouble. Think positive. Have a positive mind. Have a calm mind. Welcome tea time. I'm about to end. You're just joining. Let us read back this affirmation of inspiration for today. It's taken from Matthew 6 verse 34. I am not the one that said it, but guess who? Jesus said it. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Yes, my brothers and sisters, I love you and God love you more. You do take the time out of your busy schedule to be on my live stream. I really do appreciate you all. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead. It's free to click that button or the bell and subscribe to my channel, Evangelist Sandra Robinson. Thank you all for being here with me. I do love you. Remember, in everything that we do, put God first. Always remember that God is in control of our life. Our body is the temple of the Lord. We cannot do anything with our body. Our body is precious unto God. That's why He controls us. Love you, my brothers and sisters. Do have a blessed and wonderful day, and continue to spread the love at your workplace, on the road, everyone that you've been in contact with. See you on the next live stream.